Guy tries to claim the armrest. I let him have it, his way. Here's a story. I'm a big lover of the theater and will usually go to whatever Broadway show manages to make its way to my city. I also have the cutest nephew in existence. Sorry people, these are facts. When Disney's The Lion King came around, I decided to treat my little nephew to his first theater show. I wanted everything to be perfect for him, and I managed to snag close orchestra seats right on the aisle. I knew that during the Circle of Life, there's a large elephant puppet that makes its way down the aisle, and I wanted him to be surprised and to be blown away. The seats are very tight, so it was my nephew on the aisle, then me, and then a freaking rude old guy, or frog. So we take our seats, the curtains go up, and then I spent the entire first act getting elbowed in the side by this frog bony elbows. So I was getting elbowed by this frog, and he had to know what he was doing, but it happened over and over again. I wanted to turn street so bad, but I reminded myself that my cute little nephew was there with me, and I didn't want him to see Auntie's street side, so I stewed through the first half, and then I focused on my nephew's pure joy at the show. During intermission, the frog gets up, and I decide that the best way to handle things is discreetly. I should claim the armrest for myself so that my armrest would protect me. Mind made up, I casually place my arm down and focus on my nephew. So Frog gets back, sits down, and proceeds to jam his bony elbow under my arm, and he physically throws it off the armrest. He looks at me and he says it's because he was using it before. I went from 0 to oh heck no in 2 seconds and was about to lay into him when I remember my cute little nephew is with me. So breathe girl, breathe. Suddenly the devil on my shoulder whispers the best idea into my head, and I give an evil grin. He wants the armrest? Fine. He can have it. Here's my revenge plan. Laying my arm perfectly on top of his, as if his arm was the armrest. He looks over at me in shock, and I stare straight back at him, silently, daring him to say anything. He pulls his arm back and spends the rest of the second act with his arms crossed, and I sit comfortably, enjoying a wonderful show with my darling nephew. Here's some good comments. Commenters overwhelmingly support the narrator's actions, finding the revenge both clever and satisfying. That frog went unkissed for good reason. Dominance asserted. This is the way. 80% of the commenters agreed with the narrator's revenge and praised the clever and effective approach. 10% of commenters thought the revenge was a bit too harsh and suggested maybe taking a different route. So most commenters cheered on the narrator's armrest takeover and proved that in the theater of life, sometimes you have to hog the spotlight. So this story reminds us that sometimes the smallest victories are also the most satisfying.